Hey YouTube, Karina here, and I guess you can see by the title of this video, this is sensitive subject matter. And I say that because nobody wants to talk about this subject, but I do, so let me go ahead and put it out there. Everybody on YouTube is not who they claim to be. Some people on YouTube are genuine, and on the other hand, you have some who are basically dedicated in their heart to causing other people harm. If you don't fall for their manipulation, I mean, of course, if you fall for it, you are the apple of their eyes, the queen of their heart. You are their queen if you fall for their manipulation. On the other hand, if you fall for it and you start noticing it for what it really is and you pull out from it, yeah, you're gonna get some rants. You're gonna get some hate mails. You're gonna get whatever it takes for them to try to break you down because you broke away. Either way, social media interactions are a no-no if you don't really know the person. Now, building a friendship, I would say, would possibly be okay, but then when it starts to turn into something else, it's not okay. Because how do you know that the other person on the other side of that screen is not a sexual predator? How do you know they're not a serial killer? Even worse, how do you know that they are not abusive? You don't really know that. I mean, the only way to know that is to talk to the person. And eventually it's going to come out. The thing is this. If you think you have anyone on your channel that is suspiciously following you around and you know who the person is, block them. Or if you don't know who the person is, pretty soon they're going to pop up and start showering you with compliments and comments and everything, then request contact information to get to know you. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it, because you don't know what it really is. A lot of times we take niceness for goodness. It's two different things. Because you could be a nasty person but be nice with it. Or you could just genuinely be a good person in your actions, your speech, whatever. And sometimes if a person is online manipulating you, they'll say certain things like, people make mistakes. You have to accept them for who they are. Yes, people make mistakes. I'll give you an example of a mistake. Say you're walking somewhere and it's crowded and you accidentally bump into someone because it's crowded. Yeah, that was an accident. That was a mistake. You're like, oh, sorry. Intentionally doing something to cause the other person to feel some type of way when you know that is going to make them feel some type of way, that was intentional. Some people literally play and prey on women online. Some even do it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. And this is sad. It's so many people silently going through this, and they don't want to tell nobody because it's embarrassing, or you feel like someone's going to judge you or whatnot like that. I mean, everybody been caught up in some type of foolishness at some point in their lives, whether you admit it or don't admit it. I've got to meet some nice people on YouTube. And I've also got to meet some not so nice people on YouTube. But you know what? It is what it is. Whenever somebody catches you in a lie or manipulation, and you go and call them names like they are less than you and you're better, and you quickly start throwing out anything you can throw out to hurt that person, understand that it's coming back in a form you may not accept, or you may not know why. So if you delight in dragging people down, then just know your day is coming. God sees it all. Things that people say. Accept me for who I am. Okay. That could be in a good sense or a bad sense. Now, accepting for someone for who they are on the inside, if they're bad, don't expect me to accept you. And what I mean by bad is intentionally out to test someone, pick at them, poke with them, find a weak spot and pounce on it. That ain't cool. Or justify certain behaviors. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. Accepting someone for who they are on the outside, that's easy, because if the inside is right, it doesn't really matter what the outside looks like. And anyway, if someone accepts you based on what you look like, they're really after you for what you look like. Some people who say they want certain things in life, but then they act a different way. Can you blame someone for exiting your life? You cannot. Especially if multiple people did it within increments of 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. Now, we all have people that have to be out of our lives, and we have people who we would wish that we're not. But you know what? What's best is to assess all the relationships around you. You'll even have some people who will start it out innocent and then carry it on so deep to the point they try to change your identity, turn you into what they'd like for you to be, or quick to call you whatever without getting to know you really. Or if they do get to know you and see that you're not weak enough to fall for whatever they pulling over your eyes, you're crap to them. I don't care. Doesn't matter. So many people have lost their lives entertaining online relationships, being lured out to faraway places where they know no one. Some men actually get a thrill by inviting so many people to come out and be with them, and it's like a rat race, basically, like who can get there first. Are you kidding me? Meet people face to face before you attempt to call it a relationship. Because even though y'all relate in some areas, does not mean that y'all belong in the same ship, okay? If someone is doing these things here that I'm about to mention, then you need to know that it's time to cut that particular person off. If you have a person who wants to devour all of your time, every second of the day, you have to let them know what you're doing, how you're doing, every second of the day. I'm not talking about like friends do, like, hey, what you doing? I mean, like, for example, if someone gets off from work at 3 o'clock and they don't text you until 3:10, and they start accusing you of not wanting to talk to them, that's sign number one. Too clingy. Sign number two. Are they asking you too much about you? And what I mean asking you too much about you, I mean the deep, intricate, personal things about you, without offering up too much information about themselves. Or if they do offer information, they won't offer you anything that could be detrimental, just in case if they decide to flip, they didn't really tell you much. Or if they do tell you much, but you thought that it was genuine and you started to see some things, and got away from it, they start bashing. But it's cool. You have to let people show you who they are. We can't hide behind the name of Jesus and preach on YouTube and be womanizing and mean and angry towards people because you can't get your way, or you want someone to accept Playboy lifestyle. I mean, if you want that, you should have that, but don't suck people in who don't want that. Next thing. If a person is basically showing interest in you, but then telling you, I have female friends and you're just jealous. There is nothing wrong with having friends. It's just if you have a lustful eye towards your friend and you compliment their body and tell them that they're sexy, or something on their body is sexy on social media in front of someone you claim to have interest in, you don't have interest in that person. I'm sorry. That's Playboy status. Though I might have went through things in the past, I still know what I want. And that ain't it. Here comes the thumbs down. Waiting for it. Yeah. Other things. If someone is going somewhere and you feel like you have to tell the other person your every move, then y'all shouldn't even be friends, because the thing is this: people give each other space sometimes. And sometimes it's hard to tell people you need space because you have opened up and shown that you cared. So they played on your niceness and made you feel like you had to be entangled with them based upon past experiences that they've endured. Relationships are not supposed to be forced, especially online ones. That can get you in trouble. I feel like anything kindled should be face to face. Otherwise, 9 times out of 10 is trickery. Like I say, 9 times out of 10 is trickery. So many people have came forward with same similarities that put pieces together like a puzzle to basically confirm the trickery. How can a person sleep at night knowing that they're attempting to make someone else's life a living hell? How do you? Everybody that says, hey, or I love you, or my queen, my friend, my whatever they call you. Sometimes they just buttering your bread to get you to jump on their plate with all the other things they got going on. Anybody got time for that? No, ain't nobody got time for that. Just saying. Just be careful who you entangle yourself with online. Because it could cost you your life, could cost you your reputation. Now, you know what? Reputation don't even matter to me, because it's like this. If you don't like me, I ain't gonna die. If you like me, I'm great. But it's not necessary. I'm still great. That's the thing. People seek approval too much. It's gotta stop. If you're online and you are a female watching this, and you know you are dealing with this type of situation, your best bet would be to try and talk to the person, if they'll listen to you without shouting and yelling and screaming and cursing you out and whatever. If you can talk to the person voice to voice and cut it off, that's great. If you feel like you can't do it that way, text them. That don't work, email. That don't work, block out all the ways of contact. Because if a person says that they are okay with the fact that you are dismissing them from your life, they're not going to keep trying to find an entryway back in. Not that they want you, but just basically to rip you to shreds emotionally. It ain't gonna happen. If you're sitting there telling yourself, he's a nice guy, he's kind, but you know deep down inside you feel some type of way, don't let that feeling that you feel some type of way slip away from you, because maybe that could be God telling you to just dismiss it. It's getting old, folks. Everybody that is not meant to be in our life is not going to be in our life. You can try to make them stay in it, but it doesn't mean anything. And those who are supposed to be in your life, God will literally open your heart to receive that person. Yes, even though people try to trick me and in the past before, it doesn't mean I'm just gonna sit there and scream, forget the world. Like, why would you do that? The world didn't do anything to you. You can't really get mad if people respond back to you in the way that you put things out to them. Don't be a victim, ladies. Don't fall for that mess. Don't fall for it. The Mr. Nice, Mr. Kind, Mr. Sweet, don't fall for that. If y'all ain't met face to face, don't be creating some kind of false sense of a future with people that you know you can't live up to. Or even worse, you possibly get it, but then you feel trapped in a prison. I ain't going to nobody's prison, okay? While I am having some things restored to me that are supposed to be restored to me. That's where I'm going to stay. You get outside of something that you're not supposed to do, of course things can happen to you. But, you know what? Get back up. Keep moving. Be happy that you ain't stranded somewhere being abused physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or even worse. The person might be crazy and shoot you in your sleep because they feel like they don't want you there. I mean, you'd be surprised. There are some sick people in this world posing as sweet, innocent, godly people. Please understand, everyone that pretends to be friendly is not really friendly. And the devil know that. If you want a friend, he gonna show himself to be friendly. You can show yourself to be friendly, but then when your actions are not friendly, you're not friendly. You a beast. We can't be in beast mode because people in our past hurt us and we decide we're going to take that out on every person we meet. Like, okay, if I collect tears from this person, then maybe I'll get over what my so-and-so did to me. Or if I collect tears from this person, maybe I can get over what so-and-so did me. Maybe if I collect tears from this person, maybe I can get over what blah blah. No. You can't go around making unsuspecting people pay for something that someone else has done to you. You can't do that. Don't show yourself to be friendly if you're not friendly. Be who you are and let it just come to the surface. And you let other people decide if they want to be in your life or not. If they don't want to be there, you can't make them be there. No matter what. So, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to decide to make another video. I'll be back.